I'm filming with Dan. Where are you at? I'm filming with Dan. Filming with Dan. Do you want to come in? Do you want to be in the... Do you want to discuss Kiss first? We're talking Kiss first today. We're talking Kiss first. What would be... If you had to buy one item, what would it be? What would be your Kiss first?
Sound like a record to tape. Kiss. Rock and roll over.
Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. My name is Rick.
I'm Dan.
And tonight we are talking Kiss first. Like, if you were starting out being a fan today, our suggestions, our thoughts of what your first should be. Even if, like, we
Like
were...
if an alien landed and said,
Yeah.
"What's this Kiss you speak of?"
Yes. What would be the first things you would buy? Let's first talk albums, because obviously the music is the most important.
Not my favorite album, but no question for me, Alive. That's the first three albums times 10. Those, I think, are still the best songs. They were still hungry. They weren't rich yet. They're on fire. I know it's been... there's production behind that stuff, but it still sounds amazing. Those sounds never sounded more vital. There's no way the biggest critic at that point still couldn't like give them shit or make fun of them, because they are just a kick-ass rock and roll hard rock band that wears really cool makeup.
Vital is a great way to describe that record. Mine would be Rock and Roll Over. Because I think as a studio record, that is the record that is most on fire. That is the record that is most rock and roll, energetic, balls to the wall rock, but also fun.
Yes.
Love Gun tones down the rock a little bit. Rock and Roll Over.
I will agree with you studio album wise. On that note, if you wanted to convert a Kiss fan and you wanted to keep them away from going, ugh, are you fucking for real? What would you keep them away from? What's the number one thing you'd keep them away from?
Carnival of Souls.
Really?
I know that's a punch in the gut to a lot of people, and it's sacrilege to say, but I still listen to that album today. The music is great. Paul singing and
but
the
it's
lyric.
not Kiss.
Yeah, it's not Kiss.
You're looking for someone, but it's not Kiss.
That's why.
It's Kiss and Chains.
That's a great way to put it. And that is why I would keep people away from that record.
I love Unmasked. It's very dear to my heart, but that's not an album I would play. Hey, this looks like a really kick-ass band. Let's see what they sound like. It'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that, because...
It sounds like a top 40 AM radio band.
Yeah, and it's like, this is childish songs.
Yeah,
Like,
yes. These are made for my older sister to go roller skating to.
VHS.
Ah, yes. Making a comeback?
But we're missing the big football game. Relax. My VHS home video recorder is taping it right now.
What would be your first on VHS?
For a would-be Kiss fan?
Yes.
Again, not even a question. Extreme Close-Up.
Why Extreme Close-Up?
A, gives you the history. B, they're wanting to be taken seriously again. There's no cheese.
Well, see, I was going Exposed, but now that you say that, Exposed is a lot of cheese, but...
There'd be cringy moments for people.
True, but Exposed also has a lot of history to it as well. And if you're a young man, young boy...
Titties.
That is a... I want to be like these guys. I mean, I was 15 seeing Exposed, and I probably left Brett Parker's early.
Dusty Trail.
I'm pretty tired.
I think after you converted someone to become a Kiss fan, that's when you can start showing them things like Exposed. Like you've already had them sell their soul. Now you can show them the evil delights.
What would be the first poster you would recommend?
One that you just reacquired is nothing to sneeze at. The loudest band in the world. Awesome, kick-ass. Anything from the Acoin days, like the gigantic, what was that, Kiss Army poster?
Yeah.
Overwhelming, just, I would stare at that thing for hours.
My thought would be, and I had this in college, would be the U.S. tour poster.
Oh, yeah.
Such a classic image, and when you put that on your bedroom door, it's so almost like you're a 1970s kid.
Yeah, it makes you feel patriotic, a lot of pride if you have that poster. First t-shirt, I'm not the biggest fan of this album, but I would go probably with a Destroyer t-shirt.
And I would say go with...
Or Love Gun.
There you go. I would say go with whatever album you fancy.
Hey, this is my point. What? Okay, you know what I say? What? Wear what you dig. That's it. Just wear what you dig. Well, what's the problem?
Obviously, you get into the music first. Mine was Smashes, and my very first shirt I ever bought was a Smashes Live Tour 89 shirt. Still love that thing to this day. I would say go with whatever album you fancy, because that's going to be like your armor you wear out into the real world, pledging your allegiance to this band, and so you want it to be something that's in your blood.
There you are, talking with those damn hands again! So if you were to set a newbie down to see Kiss at their peak live, what concert would you show them?
I would show Winterland 1975. I know that's not a big production show. It's not like an Alive 2. It's not like an Alive. Mm-hmm. But there's something so hungry about that performance. Mm-hmm. You're seeing four guys on the verge of becoming superstars.
Good point, good point.
You?
If I had to pick one, I think it would be Houston 77.
Oh!
The full stage is there. You can tell they still got some vinegar in their piss. They sound good. Peter still has it at that point. A lot of it depends on Peter Chris' playing. Everything is really damn good on that one.
And as much as I love Dynasty, you wouldn't want to choose a Dynasty show.
No. Certain things you have to show after they've been converted.
Next up, piece of merch.
Does that include albums or more of an outside merch?
More like anything like a coin, things you could buy at TGNY.
A good
eBay things.
Good place to start, I think, would be the bubblegum cards. Collectible, fun, not overly priced where you're intimidated.
Very, very good. Actually, my first thought was the Viewmasters, because it's kind of something rare in a way, not too expensive, and also super fun. Any Kiss merch you buy needs to have that TGNY, Woolworths, 1979 summer day with your
Spider-Man feel.
Yeah. Like you're running errands with your parents, they buy you something because you've been good all day.
Been there. Paul Stanley solo album.
There you go. Viewmasters would be mine. Those cards, that's a very good idea, because then you can have like the book and you have the whole set.
That you don't feel like a little kid getting them, because you know you've got baseball, football fans that to this day still collect baseball cards, so it's something legit to collect.
First piece of merch.
First piece of merch.
Do you remember your very first piece of Kiss merch?
Oh man, see, I never really got a whole lot of merch. It probably was those cards because my family could afford those. They were everywhere. Never got the dolls. In fact, the first time I saw the Kiss dolls in person was like around 81, 82, when you could get them for like $2 because no one in the world cared about Kiss, at a store called the Half Price Store.
Brett Parker bought Gene Simmons at the Half Price Store, and when probably 1982, I was in the second grade, Brett Parker and I took Gene Simmons' makeup off with a butter knife.
That was funny. I also remember at the Half Price Store, those Kiss dolls being so low, and next to them was a bin of albums that were like 99 cents, and almost every one was a disco album because disco had died by 82. So this was just a lot of merch that needed to go somewhere, and there you go.
Can you imagine walking into a antique store now and seeing that same setup. Be
I can
like heaven.
smell it. I think I also remember in 81, 82, the half price store having those glorious Kiss beach towels.
That's incredible. Those things.
Yeah.
I mean, any pop culture beach towel from back then is going to be so faded if a kid used it.
I feel like Cher right now because I really would like to turn back time.
You've never seen anything like the incredible half-price store. Quality factory overstocks from many of America's most famous makers. Thousands of items, all at half price and less. Toys and jeans, jackets and shoes, shirts, blouses, and housewares. We've cleared the nation's warehouses of quality overstocks to bring you the selection and the savings. Shop and save at the incredible half-price store.
There you have our list of Kiss First. If you're a brand new fan into the band or know a friend who might be wanting to go down the road of Kiss fandom, our ideas where they should stop first,
And last.
things to avoid, but anything Kiss is always fun. Thank you for hanging with us tonight. Take care, be safe, be good to your babies, even your goose outside.
In the words of a Brazilian announcer, Kiss! Oh, Kiss of Brazil! Gandaman, Gandaman!
We will talk to you soon.
Hello, pie.
Young boy.
Titties.
That is a...
By that point, I was probably more interested in Pac-Man and asteroids than I was Kiss.
Kiss, o Kiss no Brasil, Maracanã, Mineirão e Morumbi.